Hey, what's up? Today we're going to the luge. We're gonna do a quick one after my long ride last weekend. I could use a more mellow ride, but that's not the point of this. Today, I'm trying something new, something that's been driving me nuts. So I did a little research. I'm gonna fix the wind noise on my GoPro. When I took footage of a couple of my last rides, quite a bit of wind noise.
All right, we're on coach whip.
Combination of just better microphones on the GoPros, plus design of the frame, plus all sorts of different factors. And you know, you go faster on a mountain bike, you get some wind noise. So we're gonna try something. Back in a second. All right, so I was pretty desperate last week. I really wanted to deal with the wind noise in my long Santiago Peak video. And I started kind of Googling around, getting some ideas. Long story short, I MacGyvered something. Yes, I know, I've never done that before. I grabbed an old sock and I started cutting. It was clean. It was a clean sock. I started cutting and I could get this thing to stay on just well enough and I could still use it and function. And overall, it kind of worked okay. But there are better solutions, and had I had enough time, I would have just done this in the first place, but whatever. All right, so I bought one of these cheap little guys off of Amazon. They're all over the place. You can buy two for like $8. And everybody raves about them, so I'm going to give this a try. So we're going to try this on some downhill sections of the luge. Report back.
All right, well, we're about 3/4 of the way up the Majestica grade. Always a good warm-up, but never fun. Good times. It is unusually windy up here today, so I guess it's a good time to test out this camera muffler. You can see the magic wind muffler that everyone raved about didn't quite work as advertised. Maybe the density and the cell structure of this particular manufacturer's foam isn't quite as good as some of the others, but I don't really know. I wonder if there's a way to make this work. Okay, so here is the stock foam cover with all the stock openings and everything, and here is what I MacGyvered. Now, what I did, I searched through my shop to see if I had anything to help add some extra layers to the exterior, you know, around the microphone areas specifically. And then it came to me. These drink koozies are made of soft foam, and I have a bunch of them from trade shows and stuff. I found one that was open cell and would let air blow through. So if you blow on it, it will let the air pass through. That's really, really important. You don't want one that feels like neoprene or it'll block too much of the sound. We want to slow down the air as much as possible while still letting the sound waves through. That's how those fancy dead cat microphone covers work. But I didn't have any dead cats, but I had BEER koozies. So I went to the MacGyver cave. I originally started with just a few smaller pieces right in the areas of the direct microphone location. So basically here, here, and then here and here. So then I hot glued the pieces in place. I then ran some crude tests, blowing on it and placing it near a fan. And I quickly realized that wind noise was still somehow getting in. So I kept adding more and more koozie foam until I had almost all of the surfaces covered. Sides, top, front, and then a little bit on the bottom. I did leave the back open because that's not necessary. Now, one of the big issues I had, and many of the reviewers said the same thing, was With the stock opening, you can't see the status of what is going on with the GoPro. There's no window here. So I modified mine and I cut open this window so now I can see the status of what's going on with the GoPro. This means that you can see if it's in recording mode or in time-lapse mode. I switch back and forth from both of those in the ride, so it's important to see this information. So I cut it open and it works great now. The beauty of the new GoPros is voice activated commands, and the foam cover makes it next to impossible to get to the buttons. So the voice controls solve this problem. Winning. This thing looks like a hot mess. I totally get it. It doesn't look all that great. But this was a prototype, and prototypes don't always look that great. As long as they work and do what you want them to do, then it serves a purpose. So because I have an extra one of these, I'm gonna do a little nicer job. I'm gonna cut some new pieces out of other foam that I have, making it look a little less like the Frankenstein. Okay, so how does this new Frankenstein looking MacGyver wind muffler work? I did some tests on a big hill to find out. Roll that beautiful wind footage.
Okay, this is no foam wind suppression. This is the stock foam wind suppressor as it comes from the manufacturer. Okay, this is my MacGyvered wind suppression foam cover. And this is my super last minute redneck, like super redneck. We're gonna see how this compares to nothing and also the stock foam cover. Here we go.
So there you have it. I've been happy with the modifications and have tested it on several more rides since I made the MacGyver wind muffler. I personally don't want to roll the dice on any more Amazon foam covers to find out they all work about the same. I like the simplicity of these covers compared to something like a remote dead cat lapel microphone or the pricey GoPro Media Mod, which would be another piece of equipment to wrangle and remember for future rides. There are likely several ways to do this type of modification and sound improvement, other types of fabrics or material that would work well instead of a BEER koozie, which I didn't have time to test. But I'd love to hear other ideas or solutions to help out the mountain biking community in the comments below. And yes, I'm quite aware of the auto wind audio settings that GoPro offers, but it simply doesn't help enough when you're shooting down a fast single track with the wind howling in your face. Hey, if you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for future content. Happy riding and hope to see you on the trails next time.